And thinking about an old school song from the 90s. Remember that band called the Gin Blossoms? And they sang a song about like, anywhere you go, I'll follow you down. I'll follow you down, but not that far. I'm thinking about Jesus now, and he would see us and say to us, follow me. And we might feel tempted to sing like the Gin Blossoms, going, hey, Jesus, I'll follow you to a certain extent. But, you know, if it gets... the waters get a little choppy and I'm not sure if it's a little bumpy, and I don't know if we're going to make it through the end of this all right. Hey, Jesus, I don't know if I'm going to follow you that far. Like, I want to follow you from the safe, still waters where things are tame and the waves don't get so rocky. Thinking about even Jesus on a boat with the disciples, and the wind picks up and the waves come crashing down, and they go, Jesus, save us. Aren't you aware that we're about to drown? And Jesus speaks to the wind and the waves. It says, be still. And the wind and the waves, they know that voice because it's the same voice that told them in the beginning to be created. And so the wind and the waves obey, but we say, Jesus, I'll follow you as long as it's smooth sailing. I pray that we would have more Holy Spirit power to say, Father, wherever you send us, wherever you lead, we will go, especially if it gets rocky and bumpy, because we know that you are with us and you are sure. You're an anchor for our souls, firm and secure, that is Christ. A little sermon from the kayak. Well, I just leave it there. I'll pray and we'll go. You want to do that? Or I've got at least 30 minutes worth of scriptures to roll with, to know that no matter where you are in life, whether it's smooth sailing right now or it's really, really choppy waters, Jesus calls us to follow him. So 2 questions I really want us to think on today as we're looking at following Christ. Question number 1, what would it take for you to unfollow Jesus? Maybe you're going, nothing. Maybe you're going, I don't think I am following right now. Let's dig deeper into that question and your answer to that question. What would it take for you to unfollow Jesus? Question number 2. If you're not going to follow Christ, to whom will you go? So before we get to those questions, let's kind of unpack and recap where we've been over the last weeks as we're doing a series about following Christ. And Jesus was not shy in that command to follow after him. So in the first week, we looked at like Jesus and a parable of the prodigal son, and Jesus calls Matthew's a tax collector. He's deep in sin, and Jesus still calls him to follow after me. So one of the things we learned is that everyone's invited to follow. It's not an exclusive members only. You have to be this high to follow the ride, whatever. No. He says everyone's invited. Even the sinners? Yes. In fact, being a sinner is a prerequisite because Jesus didn't call any perfect people to follow him because no one was perfect except him. So everyone's invited, even the sinners, and it's an invitation into a relationship, not just a program. It's a relationship into a personal walk with the one who created us, the way, the truth, and the life. So it's very relational in nature. So if Jesus puts the challenge out there, it's not just something we do out of obedience or like, I guess I have to. That's because I love him. I want to follow him. And he loves me, first loved me. So there's a relationship there. So Jesus says some challenging things. Today especially, we'll look at some of the challenging words from Jesus. And if it's just a program or just a hierarchy to follow, well, then we might be tempted to just bail. I'll unfollow. And so following also results in an overwhelming faith. Maybe you didn't have so much faith in the beginning. Maybe you even had more doubts than faith. But Jesus doesn't say, hey, only faithful people follow me. So go ahead, bring your doubts. Follow me, and I'll take care of those doubts. And in fact, I will bring and build up your faith to an overwhelming faith if you will stay with me. And then a few weeks ago, we talked about, well, what do followers wear? Is there a dress code? Is there a uniform? In this church, the dress code